I think it's kind of wild that people have work tied up with their egos. I just came across apparently a barista's, you know, page on my FYP, and she was talking about how she works or she gets up at 4 o'clock in the morning so that she could go to work to serve these blue collar boys coffee. One thing people don't really understand is there's a reason why it's called a graveyard shift. Your body has adapted to the sun going up and coming down. We don't really understand how much it fucks us up when we go to work at nighttime, and people don't really understand that you're not supposed to wake up at 3 or 4 a.m. so that you can go to work and serve somebody coffee, cook somebody fucking food, put groceries on the shelf. People don't really understand that it's not fucking natural to stand in one place for 8 straight hours. Oh, they get a 15-minute break, big fucking whoop. Oh, they get a 30-minute lunch break, big fucking whoop. I walk around a lot and it's hell on my feet, it's hell on my legs, it's hell on my lower fucking back every fucking day, you guys. And I think it's fucked up that people are on their feet, they're moving fast as hell, they're fucking hustling. And they barely make enough money for their car payment, they barely make enough money for their rent, they barely make enough money for their bills, they barely make enough money for the groceries. A lot of people end up getting into selling illicit shit so that they can make extra money on the side, tax-free from the government. And that lifestyle brings a whole nother set of issues itself, because people are constantly going to be blowing your phone up, they're constantly going to be wanting to meet you up, and that takes time away from yourself ultimately. I think it's sad that for a lot of people, they graduate high school and their dreams die right then and there. They I have to go get a job. I think it's sad that people have kids right out of high school and their kids see their parents just working, never really dreaming, never really living. It's stop dreaming, goddammit, get to work. I think it's sad that there's kids out there who have to go work for the family business and they have to put in hours for free. Because somebody starts a business and maybe that business doesn't do too well and you can't pay employees yet, so you gotta have your family picking up the fucking labor for you. Me personally, one thing I've wanted to do my entire life was be a musician, travel the world, play music for people, and I think it's unfortunate that, that's a dream that people say, oh, that's gotta be on the side, you gotta make a bunch of money first. You're not allowed to do what you really want to do until you can pay for your lifestyle. For a long time I was just chasing the idea of getting signed to a record label. And at one point I was making progress in those dreams. I was trying to realize them. I got onto this Boise record label, way back when it was called D-Lime Productions. It was supposed to be this whole community thing, and it never ended up realizing. Something went down with the two dudes who were running it, and they just kind of had a disagreement and one thing. And that was something that I was really excited for, that opportunity. I was like, fuck yeah, I'm that good of a musician that somebody thinks that I'm good enough to be on their fucking record label. Let's do this. They're gonna allow me access to a studio and I can really just unleash my musical talent. They're not going to control what kind of music I'm putting out. They're not going to try to control my lyrics. They're not going to try to control my image. Fuck yes. And unfortunately, it never realized. I used to work at this bar back in Boise some years after that, and there's a guy that put on hip-hop shows down in the basement every Sunday. And later on, I tried to link up with him. I wanted to make some music, and I wanted him to help me out, guide me through this process. And he's like, well, it's gonna be about $5,000. And I think it's fucked up, you send people your demos, and I don't even know if people actually listen to the demos. I figure a lot of people probably just hear a Jizzle D Freak song and they think to themselves, well, what the fuck is this? They might think to themselves, I don't like the way how he produced his music, I don't like the way he wrote his bars. I just looked up and seen something falling out of the sky. And I saw something streak across the sky earlier. It's kind of weird, but I digress. And one thing I really wanted to do is just make music. I didn't really think about anything else outside of that. And I just kind of started to realize that, some people don't take music as seriously as you. I got together with one friend and he wanted to write some songs with me, and so I was playing the guitar. He pulled out the pen and pad. I don't even think we sat there for 15 whole minutes before he's like, you know what, this isn't working out. I gotta get high first. And we ended up spending the next 4 or 5 hours chasing down his dealer. And then I think we ended up getting some beer or something, and we never ended up back at his garage writing music. And I've gotten together with other musicians here and there, and we tried to write some songs together, but never realized. Maybe they weren't feeling my vibe. Maybe they didn't think I was as good as I led them to think I was. Whatever. And sometimes I wonder if those people stole my music. When I was 16, I got together with this random dude because I was wanting to get into heavy metal and hard rock, and he picked me up. We went over to his house and we sat there all day and we worked on some music together. I wonder if he just stole that idea from me. He's like, yeah, I need a new idea. I can't think of anything myself. And, they performing that song. And it's whatever. Like, if you guys steal the ideas that I have and you make it into your own music and it gets bigger than mine, I don't care at this point. I enjoy just doing what I like to do anymore. And especially seeing how the entertainment industry is structured, and how so many of these people have gone through so many horrifying and traumatic experiences. It just makes me think to myself, it's like, why would you want to even be a part of that? Is the money worth it? All those nice clothes worth it? Traveling around the world worth it if you got to do some real freaky shit to do it? I don't think so. But some people say to themselves, this is a multi-million-dollar contract. I might as well get on my knees and this one time. Yeah, Diddy does have a lot of lube. I might as well just fucking... You just wake up with a sore ass and you got Diddy and all the people that you've been looking up to your whole life just cheering you on like, welcome to the fucking team, buddy. I think it's just absolutely sick that there's kids at parties like these and they're just used as party favors. Oh, we got 5 of them on that table there dressed up as presents. Pick out whichever one you want. And it's all being recorded and shit so that they can use it as blackmail against you later. Allegedly, we have to say. And that's why they're not trying to release the Epstein files. That's why you see all of these high-profile people going into hiding and freaking out. That's why you see Justin fucking Bieber looking stressed out as fuck. Because if you had to do some real fucking... real appalling shit to get the record label contracts and money and fame and success that you have today, and that video of you doing all that fucked up shit is leaked onto the internet and everybody sees that video of you, yeah, I'd be fucking tripping too. Yeah, I'd be trying to blow my money as fast as I can too. Enjoy that fucking shit while it was lasting. I'm sure that fucks people up when they're, got all this shit mixed up with money, loyalty, guilt trips, psychological manipulation. And it's like, how bad do you really want it? We see all these politicians take the teeniest amount of money so that they could cover up for the genocide that's happening in Palestine as we speak every fucking day. They say there is no genocide happening in Palestine. I never saw any starving Palestinian children. If you want those children to be fed, if you want those bombs to stop dropping, well, you got to talk to the leader of Hamas. Like, any of us got that dude's number. Last I checked, there was drone footage of a leader of Hamas being executed. And it was a big deal because it was a drone that was using AI to target this individual. And we never really know what's happening over in Palestine because we can't see it with our own eyes. We can only see what Palestinians are able to record and upload to the internet, okay? You see, we don't hear those bombs dropping. We don't hear those people screaming. We don't have to fucking be around that. And the fact that people take boat tours so that they can watch someone else's execution is completely fucked to me. And the fact that there's politicians taking money to deny that these crimes are happening, and they're taking money to send your money so that these crimes can continue to happen, and they're taking money from businesses to make life harder for average American people so that they can fucking profit even more.